Friendly reminder, we have a voicemail segment of the show every single week where if you have something to say, you disagree with the take, you agree with the take, or you want to tell us something, you got something you want to get off your chest, it doesn't matter what it is. There is a link to call in. There's a link in our Instagram and TikTok bio, or there's a link in the video description of the show, Apple, Spotify notes. You click it. You have 90 seconds to say whatever you want, positive or negative. We ask that you don't swear too much. You can swear a little bit, so then I can do all the editing, and we will have your voice on our show. Now, just a quick heads up. We've been a little bit bad at the voicemails due to my travel schedule lately, but we're going to get all of them done over the next 2 weeks. And our final episode on June 29th, we're going to do every single voicemail. I had somebody message in, actually call the voicemail last week saying that I was racist for not playing their voicemail. So if you, whatever you think, if you have left a voicemail, we will get to your voicemail for the last episode, June 29th or sooner.
Hey, this is Jay Mall, long-time listener, first-time caller. Just wanted to ask, how many prime ministers will Canada have to go through before they'll have an NHL franchise that wins the cup? That's it. Love you, boys.
I think we might have an election next month, no?
Well, look, politics. The throne speech survived the confidence vote under a little bit of controversy, but regardless, doesn't look like we're going to the polls anytime soon. Yeah.
I got excited when the NDP said we're voting non-confidence. That really got my hopes for our country up for the first time in a long time.
To answer your question, I think it could happen under Carney's watch.
Well, hold on. So, 93, Montreal won. Was Mulroney prime minister at that point in time?
No, that would have been Chrétien.
Was it Chrétien? And then Kim Campbell came in.
She was a scapegoat.
Her reign lasted probably longer than that first girlfriend I had in Vancouver. And then who was after Chrétien? Was it Paul Martin?
Paul Martin came in.
Harper.
After Paul Martin was Harper, and then Trudeau, now Carney.
You mean Justin Castro?
Next call.
Thanks for the call.
First time caller, couple month listener,
Thank you.
Don't really have anything to chime in on. It's a baseball bet, and yesterday got put through the ringer.
Nice.
Anywho, final start tonight. Let's go loyal to the oil over here. And, just kicking it with my buddy Morrison here. Thinking about doing some plumbing jobs, and it got me thinking about, these asshole customers and how they don't want to, they want you to design and hold their hand through everything. And then I was watching your comment section and seeing these assholes throwing some hatred your way. And I think these guys, you're doing a good deed. You're talking hockey. You're talking politics. You're talking what the people want. So keep doing your thing there, young pup. Maybe you make it back to the big show again. Maybe you don't, but just keep at her. Don't let these little faggots tell you what's good and what's not. And they're sitting there scrolling anyways with their cock in their hand. So have a good day.
I love the blue collar people of Alberta. That guy's 100% Edmontonian.
God love the trades.
You know what? Most of the people not most. A 30 percentile range, roughly, of the voicemail callers. They remind me of that one girl I dated in Vancouver where she got all these stupid tattoos. Did I ever tell you about this one?
No.
She had this obsession with buying stupid tattoos. I remember she spent $3,000 on a sleeve tattoo one time, and I just thought, you're an idiot. Like all the people, 30% of the people in the voicemail. Next call.
Hey, Trav. Peter from Parksville here. When are you going to go back to playing professional hockey or semi-pro?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we need to start seeing you pumping those old junior clips with the GoPro in the net. That's what we love to see. I still rewatch those like every day right before hockey. But, yeah, good luck with everything, eh?
Could you wear it legally in the FP? Could you wear a GoPro?
No, they would never let me.
No, eh?
No. When am I going to return? I love goaltending, but my love for playing hockey got burnt out so fast playing in the Fed. And I'm just at the point where I really don't have an interest in doing it. Like I really don't. And especially like the idea of just skating for the fun of it. I mean, if there was, let's say there was a senior team out in BC that said, hey, come play for us. You're actually going to come play. And it's like a once or twice a month type of thing. I might be interested if the terms are right. But to be honest, I'm not really jumping out of my seat to go play hockey again anytime soon. I love doing our show. I love my post-retirement travel series endeavor. Things are going well so far. And
your OnlyFans page is just, starting to gain steam.
It's humming, dude. They got all 16 interviews this summer up on the YouTube channels, members, and the Patreon.
It's called 3-inch short.
Oh, the 3-inch inseam. No, I actually did start
I was talking about your shorts. Yeah, that's it.
Dave commented when I walked in before we started recording the show. I don't know if anybody noticed. As the inseam gets higher, the socks also do as well. So that gap remains the same. But yeah, dude, I wish it wasn't the way that it was. I wish I still had my love for playing hockey. Like I said, I love goaltending. It's why I like breaking it down in front of you and actually talking the technical aspects of it. But as far as like the pursuit and it's done.
When you say pursuit, do you mean more of the day in, day out, the long travel, the bus rides, that kind of stuff? Like if you lived a little more in the lap of luxury when it came to it, would you be a little more open to returning?
I guess that's one way of putting it. Just like, so this is how my brain breaks it down, just like start to finish. So let's say I was going to go play again. I have to start training again all summer and start working out all summer. And I enjoy working out. I enjoy it a lot more now than I did before. I have to skate all summer. Not a problem. But I'm investing all this time, effort, and energy into maybe I go to a team and they're not going to give me a shake the way that I do believe that I deserved or that I was owed because of my performance on the ice. So that's mentally draining. I feel like it's a waste of time. And then as you're doing the 12-hour bus ride back from Columbus, Georgia to Biloxi, Mississippi, and the vets are sitting on mattresses, and I'm this 6'5" guy. Listen, I'm not the starting goalie. I'm going to go sit in the chair like everybody else, all the other rookies. That's taxing. And the day in, day out of like I'm traveling, but like what am I actually accomplishing? Because I'm very accomplishment focused. I need to be achieving things or like working towards something. And I just felt I could keep playing, go to different leagues, go to different countries, and just keep doing that. And I'll fade away to the point where nobody's really going to care if I keep doing the same thing for a while. Or I could just accept it for what it is, writings on the wall, rip the Band-Aid off, and get right into the post-retirement thing that I love, which is making videos, sharing stories, storytelling, and my travel series, sharing the most beautiful things in this country that I love doing. So that's kind of where my brain's at, dude. I wish it wasn't that way. I wish I can go back and play. To be honest with you, I think one of the only options I would really entertain, and I mean, knock on wood, who knows, maybe it happens, is if AJ Galante, Danbury Trashers, Danbury Hat-Tricks called me up and said, Trav, I want you to come play. I think this is a good opportunity, a good fit. Let's do it. Let's work on some terms that work for everybody. That's really the only option, professional hockey-wise, that I would entertain. The rest of it, it's like, I love doing this show, dude. We're better in studio. We're better doing our thing the way that it's been than if I'm playing on the road, traveling, and then I can or can't say certain things. I don't have a problem tailoring back the message if I'm still playing, but it's not what I love. And I love doing this. I love doing what I'm doing now.
Let's go coach hockey in Mexico. That sounds like fun.
How about Jasper? You know what? I've actually always had a dream of owning a junior hockey team.
We talked about this before. That'd be great. I don't know why Jasper doesn't have a team. We talked about Hobima earlier in the show. Why doesn't Jasper have a team?
I think because the national park aspect of things. The Revelstoke Grizzlies. Actually, I reached out to the Revelstoke Grizzlies a while ago. I was like, if you guys want a goalie coach, I need something to do. If you can cover some gas money, that'd be great. I'll come work with your goalies. I would love to coach for the Revelstoke Grizzlies junior hockey team. And BC Junior B now is better because of the whole Hockey Canada AJ-BC split. So I would love to be a BC Junior goalie coach and just do some more traveling and share my love in that aspect of things because that's what I love. But sorry, I think I've taken a little bit too much time on this, haven't I?
I haven't heard this call, but based on the name that's calling in, I don't know why, but they have a goaltender name. I'm curious to know if they're a goaltender. Well, let's listen to the call first and see if I'm right.
All right.
My name's Hudson Miller. I live under the bridge in Regina. And I want to say I love your takes. And Travis, you're the hottest FPHL goalie in the whole world when you were playing. Thank you.
That's a goalie. I nailed it.
That's that same guy that calls in last week with I think he called in from the Nanaimo, BC last week. I don't know. Maybe he's traveling.
That's a goalie.
Why give up on hockey?
Oh, we're gonna go with this again.
I promise you, there is one team in the SP that could use a goalie, and honestly, would love to have you come to the Quad, man. We have great fans, and the hockey's. I mean, obviously, you know what it is. It's the SP, and it definitely is better than the Fed. Also, what's your opinion on the whole Biloxi thing? Like, I want to hear more stories about that.
Want to hear more stories on the Biloxi, Mississippi Seawolves?
Look, I'm sure if the SP came and called, I'm only going based on what you told me, but the FP and the SP, there's a very thin line between the two. Like outside of geographic, they should be the same league.
Dude, playing in Mississippi was my favorite spot to play in, and yes, the talent level has gotten. It was pretty big at one point in time. It really has narrowed, especially the last couple of years. Dude, it's funny. I tell everybody anytime I talk to a new lady or somebody asks me in an interview, where's your favorite place you played? Biloxi, Mississippi. I played in Sweden. I played outside Stockholm. I played outside Gothenburg. I had that little cup of coffee in Norway during the scamdemic.
Even in Spain.
I played in Spain for all of 3 weeks before that dumpster fire and the wheels fell off. I played in upstate New York. I played for 17 teams in Michigan that traded for my rights 45 minutes apart. But Biloxi, Mississippi, The people were amazing. They were so friendly, the hospitality, and also when you walk out of the arena from morning skate at 11 in the morning and you walk out of the parking lot and then you walk onto the beach within about 30 seconds of leaving the rink, it doesn't get any better. And I remember FaceTiming you. It's 11:30. I got my toes in the sand, a water in my hand. It's plus 20 out in Biloxi, and you're in the middle of a snowstorm. It doesn't get much better.
As a guy that spent some time in Mexico during the pandemic, I know exactly what you mean.
So, I mean, to answer your question, the fact that their head coach this season was getting paid just a couple bucks more than I was as the backup goalie in Mississippi tells you the dire straits of where that team is headed. I would love to go back. They probably won't after I'm telling what the coach is making, but...
Next call.
I want to wonder this. Use the divisional playoff format instead of the 1 versus 8, like the 92-93 season when the Leafs beat the Wings, Panthers beating the Leafs consistently. Then when you had the 92-93 Leafs going to the conference final almost every single year.
Well, keep in mind that was back in the day when Detroit was playing in the Western Conference, which just made zero sense. And I think we touched on this earlier on the show, and the NHL decided to go with more of the regional divisions, which makes sense for travel, and it builds that rivalry. And you want your East Coast teams, you want the best of the East coming out of the best of the West. Mm-hmm. You know, when we had the Detroit Red Wings in the conference finals against the Colorado Avalanche, that may as well have been a Stanley Cup final every time they played against each other. You know what I mean? Because that was the best of the East playing against the best of the West. When the Wings finally got into the East, it was a sigh of relief. They haven't had a lot of success since that happened, but it makes more sense.
I know they only made the playoffs one time since moving over to the East.
Really?
Yeah, one time. That would have been 2013-14.
So
they got dusted by Boston.
So when they won those cups without Yzerman and Lidstrom was the year that they beat Pittsburgh, they were still, they still were in the West.
Still in the West, yeah. They knocked out Dallas in 5 games in 2008, and then in 2009, Darren Helm, Pride of Winnipeg, Manitoba, knocked out the...
Used to play for the Selkirk Fishermen.
Cristobal Ue and the Chicago Blackhawks, game 5 of overtime at the Joe.
Wow, good memory.
Wagon wheels were better, by the way.
Boys, what up? Larry Wonton coming through Sunday, listening to the pod. Rear Admiral, off of Chicklets, good. Dude was a bum, brought nothing to the pod. You got Yandel now, former Iron Man.
Yeah.
I partially agree with that, but he also helped build the biggest hockey podcast in the world.
Yeah.
As much as we do like to shit on him for being a bit of a booze bag and, like to dabbling in the recreational drugs and maybe being a little bit too fat and shaped like a pear, he did found one of the biggest hockey podcasts and that carved out a load of a niche that we've been kind of riding the coattails off of. So I got to give a little bit of credit. Sorry, Larry, I got to disagree with you on that.
By the way, really quickly, was he fans of Dave Portnoy? Is that how he got mixed up with Barstool? Because Barstool was the big.
That's how it happened.
Okay, yeah, all right.
He was doing
character. So you can't top that. They're better off without him. He's a old man, not doing shit. So life goes on. As well as I went and saw the Lilo and Stitch movie. The only reason I did is because I have a 4-year-old son. So
nice, I get it.
It was all right. Scene for scene remake would have been much better. Wasn't too wokeified. I guess keep it up, boys. Life.
Well, listen, if my math is right, and you have a 4-year-old, Lilo and Stitch was pretty big in your day too as a millennial. I
love that dude who made sandwiches. 625 made the egg salad, the tuna salad, the ham and cheese. Oh, he was the goat.
I have no idea what you're
remember
talking
the guy who Larry, call back. Do you remember the 625? Experiment 625. He makes sandwiches. That was his special ability.
Yeah, I didn't. Lilo and Stitch.
Also, egg salad. No. Pretty underrated sandwich.
What's up, Trav? I've been watching you since the junior days, and I've always caught ladies lurking in your videos. What's the man? You got pro hockey in the Tinder bio, or what? What's going on? Share the wealth.
Yeah, it helps when you're 6'5" and you got a chiseled chin.
The beard helps.
Yeah,
the beard helps. The Leonidas. Feel like I'm about to go kick down the door in 300 or kick you down that pit of death.
Mm-hmm.
In all seriousness, humor and sarcastic trolling aside, and I think Dave can agree with this. Women want somebody who they can fix, right? They love the rough edges and like the crispy exterior. Like, I can smoothen that, right? They want a man who's a little bit dangerous and a little bit unpredictable. And to be honest, I kind of do whatever I want. I've always kind of gone on my own beaten drum, and I think that plays well to, and you have as well, that plays well with what women are hardwired to want to do. And they love authenticity. They love somebody who's genuine, and not in the sense of like, I'm genuinely going to be a nice guy and bring you flowers and do all that simpy stuff, because women say they want a nice guy. They want a kind man, not a nice man. They don't want nice guys. They want kind men who, like I said, play to the hardwiring. But that authenticity comes from a place of confidence, and that confidence comes from a place of competence, and competence comes from doing the job consistently and proving to yourself that you are the man. So I ain't the best looking guy in the world, but that definitely helps. So that's my secret sauce.
There you go. Take that to the bank.
What do you think? You've done well as well. You've
listen. Yeah. I've been off the market for 16 years now. I am happy with my life, and as I told you before, I have the best foursome of anybody. I got my wife and my two boys, and we go out and play golf on a regular basis, and that makes me the happiest guy in the world.
I pray you never go back on the market, because I love Candace. I love you. I love your family. I want to keep everything the way that it is. But one of the big things that Dave and I disagree about quite a bit is that the modern woman and the dating realm has completely changed since Dave's left. What, 12 years ago? 13 years? No, 15 years ago.
We've been together 16 years now, my wife and I.
You've been out of the market for almost 2 decades. It has, I mean, I pray it never happens, but man, I think you'd be absolutely shocked with what the talent pool looks like today and what you're dealing with. It's interesting. It's fascinating to say the least. To any of the single guys out there?
A few more calls here.
Hey guys, so what do you think will happen if Trevor Zegras and Mitch Marner go to the Blackhawks? I genuinely see them being a playoff team next year. I also just want to hear your take on Carter Hart. I feel like he's a really good goalie if he comes back, and I feel like he's innocent. Please be quiet. Thank you. I love what you guys are talking about on the show. Who are you talking to? Stop!
Thank you for taking time out of your orgy to call the show. Look, I think the Chicago Blackhawks are making the playoffs next year no matter what. I think the free agent market is fascinating, fascinating. I still don't think Mitch Marner will leave Toronto. I think Toronto, once cooler heads prevail and all this is done, the Stanley Cup is handed out, and there's a little time that goes by, and all the awards and all the dust settles, Toronto will go, Mitch Marner is a really good hockey player. The guy's a really, really good hockey player. Are we dumb enough to let him walk out the door for nothing?
You want to put money on it? You want to put lunch on it? I already owe you lunch from the election victory.
Look, I don't think we're out of the woods yet. I think Toronto may sign him and then trade him. I don't think they're willing to let him go for nothing. He's too good.
Carolina or Chicago look pretty appealing for him.
He's too good. As far as Trevor Zegras, I think Zegras loves being down in California, man. I think he loves being in the content creation capital of North America. I think
he's dating a TikTok gal right now, I think.
Makes total sense. I think the big X factor in this offseason free agent market is Jonathan Toews. And I think wherever Jonathan Toews go, you may see other guys follow. Mm-hmm. And they may follow on the cheap.
You want to put some lunch on that? Double or nothing?
So it comes down to who does he sign with?
You want to keep your one lunch or do you want two?
I'm willing to put it on the line.
You're willing to go?
Yeah.
Double or nothing?
Double or nothing. Deal.
Right there.
Okay.
And for those that are joining the show recently, we had a bet during the election. I said conservative majority. Dave said liberal minority.
Actually, I just said no to him. I just said no to a conservative majority. That's what I said. So the odds were in my favor on that one.
Every time I get some hope that the people of Canada have woken up and found more than one brain cell and got some common sense and don't love being told what to think on the CBC, I am so painfully proven wrong.
Look,
I just accepted it at this point.
And just for the record, that doesn't mean I was betting on what I wanted. I was just betting on what I used the brain instead of the heart on that one. Let's do a couple more.
Quite frankly, just want to call. I'm on the John, dropping a deuce like I would on China. That's right. I'm imagining the bottom of the toilet is China. Gonna free the shit out of those motherfuckers one day if they cross that line. That's right. Anyway, just want to call and tell you that I hope you guys join America, become Americans. Just kidding. Become Americans if you want to. If you don't want to, we still love you. God bless this podcast. God bless America.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is Canada savable? Is it too late? Or is being the 51st state the only way Canada's saved?
I'm more concerned about the The biggest fight during Pride Month is between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. I think that's hilarious. They're battling right now, those two.
G7 summit in Kalinaskus this month will be interesting. I can't wait to see how many 51st state comments come. But serious note, though?
Yeah.
I think I've gotten to the point where I've just accepted that Canada's done. There's no coming back. It's too far gone. There's been too many immigrants that have come in. The housing market has gone too far out. The taxes are too high. You're going to have such a high unemployment rate. If you fix anything, it's done. The only way you could ever possibly save Canada is if it becomes the 51st state. But people are so brainwashed that we are Canadian. We can't become American because we're not. There's no common sense left in this country. So it is done. It's over. I'm going to enjoy the decline. And yeah.
I'm going to prove you wrong in 30 seconds, and I'm going to give you a plan within 30 seconds, starting right now. The tariffs, the immigrants, all the things that are going on right now as far as Canada, the election, the House, all those things, it's very simple. If we can't sell our goods to the United States, great. Keep it in Canada. Start building. Start building now. It doesn't mean that those plants are going to stop manufacturing steel. Good. Put it in the ground here in Canada. Start building infrastructure. The Liberals are committed to it. The entire House needs to get on board. Let's build. Build north, build south, build east, build west. We have three coasts that we can get things in and out of this country. We don't necessarily need a partner in that. We can do it all of ourselves if we adopt that mentality, even with the new people that we have here. If everyone gets on the same page, we absolutely can start trending up.
Please call under a voicemail. Are we cooked or is there hope? Let us know. Or leave a comment down below in the comment section.
Hey, boys, this is Can America. A real true hater of the Oilers, even though I live here and I'm from Florida.
Nice.
Wow.
I guess the best thing to do or say is love your podcast.
Thank you.
Totally enjoy watching it. Love how true you guys are to it. As for Evander Kane, he's got the history of and the abuse of women, asking them to not sue him,
the R
not
word?
press charges on him, and then doing a bankruptcy to get away with it. I think the Oilers are deserving of karma and not having another Stanley Cup for many, many years. Sad to see the Winnipeg Jets out.
Yeah.
The Dallas Stars, I wonder how much money do you think they're getting paid to stop playing against the Oilers? That's my question.
Oof.
They did it last year as well.
Yeah. Those are interesting thoughts.
Just a thought that comes to mind. Why do we celebrate marriage at the start of a marriage? It's like celebrating the President's Trophy and then getting bounced in the second round. Shouldn't we be celebrating the end of, like, you've been married for 20 years, she didn't divorce you and take half your shit, your kids are not a bunch of losers, they're not fat, they're not geeks, they're not nerds, they've actually accomplished things. Shouldn't we celebrate the end of marriage, not the start, as you mentioned, with the President's Trophy Winnipeg Jets? Just a thought.
Yeah. I mean, look, we're going to see a banner get raised to the rafters at Canada Life Centre at the start of next season for being President's Cup. It's the first one they've ever had, so that needs to be celebrated. Take the wins where you can get them.
Can I tell you a little story? I was doing a staycation with one of the many girlfriends I've had over the last couple of years, once upon a time. And this was a Saturday night, and there was a couple getting married. And so her and I are walking in the main lobby, and then there comes the bride and the groom, and she tears up, and she says, "Isn't that beautiful? They found their life partners, and they're going to be together forever." And I said, give that 7 years, and let's check back in on this.
The old 7-year-ish.
The divorce rate is 50%. Of the 50% that is not divorced, 25% of them hate each other and or are sticking together because we can't afford to not. And then of the 25% that are not in that category, 5 to 10% are actually blissfully married. And you know what? This man proves me wrong every time. This is the exception right here. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes.
Hey, if you enjoyed what you just saw, we do new clips every single day, twice a day on the Clips channel. You see clips right here. And beside Dave's crotch, we have a full-length show every single Sunday right by my hand.
Click right here.